Welcome back to more George Lopez. While my George Lopez Iceberg series was comprehensive and in-depth, believe it or not, there are some things I missed, and at least one entry I totally got wrong. The purpose of this video is to serve as an amendment to the original Iceberg, just to cover things that I missed and things that I just totally forgot to add to the original Iceberg that I think are relevant. First off, I'd like to thank all of you guys, the viewers, for the amount of support and feedback on the Iceberg series. It took a while for the first video to blow up, but earlier this year in January, it did, and it totally blew me away. Again, thank you guys so much for checking out these videos. But I'd also like to thank viewers that left comments highlighting things that I missed in the Iceberg, as I'm going to highlight a couple of these as examples in the video. Without further ado, let's dive in. First up is I need a smoke and a beer. This quote comes from easily one of the funniest bits in the show's history. I didn't include it as its own entry, but I did briefly include it in the highlight reel at the start of the video series. In hindsight, I should have absolutely included this as its own entry, as this is easily one of the funniest moments in the show. Anyways, just for some background, they're celebrating Benny's 40 years of working at the factory by doing a roast of her. Angie goes up, then Ernie.
Hey, check it out. Benny's so old, she almost got on Noah's Ark, but they couldn't find the female of her species.
I guess if anyone would know about not finding a female, it'd be you.
Hey, this is your roast. You don't do me.
No one does.
Thank you. Woo!
Then Gina. And then George pulls up with a truly show-stopping performance.
We have a real special treat. We're gonna go back in time, way back. It's 1965, and the new worker has just joined the Powers Brothers, Benita Lopez.
You know what? I need a smoke and a beer.
Hey, now let's fast forward to the 80s.
You know what? I need a smoke and a beer.
Now it's the 90s.
You know what? I need a smoke and a beer.
And this is Benny during last week's earthquake.
You know what?
I need a smoke and a beer.
Then the remainder of the episode has to deal with the fact that Benny got a boob job because she was hurt by what George did.
I had a minor procedure done.
What are you talking about?
Tell me if you notice anything different.
My God, Mommy swallowed a bouncy house.
But in the end, she reveals that they were fake, and she was just trying to prove a point to George the whole time.
There's something I want you to see.
Mom, what are you doing?
Oh! Yeah. Finally, the real twins can breathe. No man needs more than what I got anyway.
Constance Marie's real last name is Lopez. So Constance Marie, who plays Angie on the show, actually shares the last name of Lopez with George in real life. Marie is actually her middle name. This isn't that mind-blowing of a fact. Lopez is a common last name, but it is a funny coincidence. Benny's mom plot hole, Eddie Carter, and Benny's jail time. Strap in because this is a long one. In the original Iceberg, I briefly touched on Benny's family, with the Joe Diaz entry, her brother. In case you need a refresher, this covered that one episode from season 2 where Benny's brother was dying, and despite holding a grudge against him, she goes to visit him at his deathbed and scores his Super Bowl tickets in the process. In this episode, Benny realizes the importance of patching things up with her brother, as he was her last living family member that was around for her childhood. Except he wasn't. Now let's fast forward to season 6, episode 4, where we find out that Benny's mom is actually still alive, a blatant continuity error. I'm gonna have to lay out some more important context from the previous season right here. Basically, in this episode, Benny is on trial due to being an accessory to a robbery decades ago, as she served as the getaway driver for her ex-boyfriend, Eddie. So now going back to the season 5 finale, the episode starts out with George and Angie helping Benny make an online dating profile, and her matches are undesirable. Coincidentally, George and Max then go to a gas station later that day, and George spots Eddie, the man who Benny used to date when George was a kid.
What about you, Eddie? You ever get married?
Yeah, a couple of times, but it didn't work out. I'll never find another woman like your mom.
We've been looking.
Hey, I know you guys had some rough times, but Benny was all right. When you see her, tell her I miss her.
So George invites Eddie to a barbecue at his house that same night so he could reunite with Benny. But right as George and Max leave, Eddie puts on a ski mask and robs the convenience store.
Give me all the money in your register, now! Oh, and a bottle of wine and some flowers. I got a date tonight.
That evening, Eddie shows up at the Lopez's house, and him and Benny decide to go for a drive and skip the barbecue. Ernie then shows up, revealing that the convenience store got robbed an hour ago.
Ernie, did you get that stuff for the barbecue we forgot?
Oh, no, the convenience store is closed, man. It's all taped off. It just got robbed.
When?
Well, like an hour ago. The dude held it up at gunpoint.
Get out of here. Max and I were just there.
Well, maybe you saw the guy. The cop said the guy was wearing jeans and a leather jacket.
George, you don't think that Eddie...
No way.
And you know what the weird thing is? They say that the crook didn't just steal the cash. He took a bottle of wine and some flowers, too.
It's circumstantial. Eddie's the greatest guy in the world.
And the witness says he saw the crook talking to a Mexican dude with his little girl just before he robbed it.
Damn it! Max needs a haircut, I told you.
George then searches for Benny to get her away from Eddie, but then, all of a sudden, she just shows up to the house. George tells Benny that he had called the cops because he was worried that Eddie had kidnapped her, and Benny freaks the fuck out.
You should have told me. Mama thought he kidnapped you. I called the police.
You did what? Are you out of your mind?
We were worried about you. He's armed.
Oh, please. He shot fewer people than the vice president. When did you call the cops?
About 20 minutes ago. Why?
Oh, I gotta get out of here. Eddie is gonna think that I turned him in, and when the cops bust him, he's gonna give me up.
Hey, what do you mean, give you up? Mom, you haven't done anything wrong.
Well...
Oh, no, Mom, what did you do? Rob a place, shoot someone? I know. You flash someone and they kill themselves.
No, George. I drove a getaway car once. I didn't know that he was robbing the place. He jumped in the car. He told me to peel out. I did. Then I threw the gun out the window and I painted my car white. Don't you understand what you have done?
Mom, that was a long time ago. There's a statute of limitations.
George, it was in Arizona. I crossed state lines. They can bust me anytime. George! They don't allow cigarettes in prison anymore. I will die.
Benny then gets sent to jail and is later found guilty of the crime. So after she's found guilty of participating in the robbery, her lawyer, played by Adam West, says that they need to figure out a way to portray her in a positive light before sentencing, and that they need a character witness to vouch for her.
My mom's looking at hard time.
Oh, not necessarily, George. If we can show your mom in a sympathetic light, maybe we can get her probation. But we need character witnesses to speak well of Benny.
Can we hire actors?
I'm assuming you'll speak about what kind of mother she was.
Can we hire actors?
The lawyer suggests that having her parents speak in court could help their case. George says that her mom, Louisa, is still alive and that he plans to track her down. However, she and Benny haven't spoken in 40 years. So George gets Benny's mom to come down, except he didn't tell her that she was in legal trouble. Instead, he says that Benny was shot. After she comes into the house, George reveals that he lied to her, and that he thinks if she testified in court, Benny might not have to go to prison. She agrees to do it. So Louisa takes the stand and paints a less than flattering picture of Benny, to say the least.
Benita was smart and hardworking.
So she had to quit school and go to work to help support the family.
Oh, no. She never helped us. She had to leave school because she got knocked up.
And it took a lot of courage to keep the child and raise it on her own.
I wouldn't know. That's the choice that she made when she decided to leave home. What? That's not what happened?
I had to leave. What was I supposed to do? Stay there and let you hit me some more? Order.
Why do you have to twist things? We spanked you, sometimes in the face.
You shouldn't have done that.
Well, you got what you deserved for running around like a little whore.
After this, George changes his mind and gives a heartfelt speech in support of his mother.
I wasn't gonna come up here today, but now I feel I have to. My mom may have made some mistakes in her life, but when someone like that raises you, what do you expect? She doesn't deserve to be punished for a stupid decision she made a long time ago. She's never committed another crime. She's worked at the same job for 30 years. So I'm asking you, as her son, don't send my mom to prison.
George's testimony actually helped. Instead of going to prison, Benny instead has to do a couple hundred hours of community service on top of being on probation. The racist statue. Not including this was another massive omission on my part. Thanks to Sarcastic Possum for pointing it out in the comments. At the start of Season 6, Episode 15, George and Angie are patrolling the neighborhood at night for their neighborhood watch. A cop, played by Mario Lopez, comes by and tells them that someone called reporting suspicious people walking around in hoodies. The cop goes along with his day, and Angie spots Mr. Sorkin, the new guy in the neighborhood. So they go up to his car to introduce themselves.
Can I help you?
Hi, I'm Angie Lopez, and this is my husband, George. We're the neighborhood watch captains.
Oh, thank God. Chester Sorkin. Nice to meet you. I saw you two in those sweatshirts and the dark clothes. I thought you were casing houses.
Casing houses. Not tonight. We're just stripping cars. What year is this? 2004?
George, stop it. He doesn't know you. My husband wanted us to go undercover.
Oh, I'm glad you told me that. I could have done something stupid, mistaking you people for the bad ones.
Sit down. Did you hear that, Angie? You people? The bad ones?
George, don't overreact.
Overreact? He saw two Latino people walking down the street, and he called the cops racist. Okay, I hate him.
You're reading too much into this.
Am I? Let's get another opinion. Why don't we wake up the statue of the sleeping Mexican and ask him?
After Sorkin says something overtly racist to George, he then notices this statue in his yard. This statue of a man in a sombrero sitting down is a highly controversial image, to say the least. For all intents and purposes in this episode, the context of the statue is cut and dry. Considering Sorkin's earlier remarks, the statue is a clear statement of racism, having it in his lawn. Angie then goes online to see if there's any law against having a racially insensitive statue, and Ernie comes over as he and George plan to confront Sorkin. The next morning, Sorkin comes to the door with a piece of the statue broken. and accuses George of breaking it. They go to the kitchen and Benny admits that she broke the statue. George defends Benny's actions until Vic comes in and lets him know that Sorkin has now put up 2 new statues in his yard. Later that night, Max comes home in the middle of the night with a video on his phone to show George. The cop from before comes to the house and he says he saw Max run past Sorkin's house, and now Sorkin's statues are broken again. George hits play on the video.
Man, can you do me a favor and let me handle this? I'll make sure that Max pays for the statues.
Look, George, you're my friend, so I'm not gonna turn him in. But next time, I might have to.
It's not gonna be a next time. I appreciate it, Hector.
It turns out a letter Angie wrote earlier to Sorkin worked, as it got the whole neighborhood fired up enough to start a petition for him to take down the statues. Blue's Clues. If I go just off of the amount of people that left comments about this is probably my biggest error on the iceberg. So again, when I was a kid, I noticed that blue paw print on the fridge in the Powers Brothers break room and naturally assumed it had to be Blue's Clues. Then, so many years later, when I got down to making this video series, as I was taking copious amounts of notes during multiple rewatches, I thought this should be mentioned in the iceberg. Even though I couldn't find evidence to it being an actual Blue's Clues reference, I compared the two and thought they must be connected, but it turns out that this blue paw print is just a generic logo used by some sports teams. Stacy Keebler. So this one I had no idea of, even after doing lots of research. But the actress that plays Vic's girlfriend Lindsay isn't just any random actress. She was a professional wrestler in the WWE, formerly the WWF. In the season finale for season 5, Vic walks into the Lopez house all jolly and tells the family about his new girlfriend, Lindsay. Even though he had just gone on a first date with her the night before, he declares he's in love. While we get a glimpse of a body double of sorts as Vic proposes to Lindsay at the end of this episode, it's not until season 6, episode 2 that Stacy Keebler debuts as Lindsay on the show. Also, it's soon revealed that Vic told Lindsay that he previously dated Shakira. And again, as I outlined on the iceberg, the crew for the show Cheaters found her cheating on Vic, which ends their relationship. Ruth. In season 6, episode 10, Angie and George decide to look into hiring a maid. Since both George and Angie are busy with their jobs, the house has become a mess. Ruth, played by actress and singer Barbara Eden, goes to the same church the Lopezes do, and she comes to the house to interview for the position. This whole episode is basically Ruth taking care of George like she's his mom instead of cleaning around the house.
Oh, here you go. Are you feeling all right?
Yeah, just fighting a cold.
Oh. You feel a little warm. I'm gonna make you some chicken soup.
Really?
Well, you know what they say. Chicken soup is a mother's penicillin.
When I was a kid, my mom's penicillin was, "Hey, fathead, walk it off."
I'll bet you're getting sick because you're working too hard.
Yeah, well, I have put in a lot of hours trying to break the productivity record at the plant.
Did you do it?
Yeah, I did.
Good for you. Oh, that's fantastic news.
They gave me a certificate. It's not a big deal or anything. I mean, in the whole history of the company, they've only given out 2, and the letters are in gold. You want to see it?
Oh, would you look at that? This is going on the fridge, mister.
No way! My mom never put anything on the fridge unless it was embarrassing.
Oh, that's horrible.
I know, huh? I got an F on a test, and she put it on the fridge, so I got her back. I found a letter to her from the free clinic, and I put it up. That way, we both failed the test.
Well, this is an accomplishment, and it needs to be shown off.
Put it over Max's history test. He only got a B.
Oh, I wish I had a camera so I could take a picture of you with your certificate.
I got a camera over here.
Benny and Angie eventually take notice and both take issue with it, leaving Ruth in a very uncomfortable position.
If you don't want to give me a hug, I know someone who will. I love you, huh? You like that? How does that make you feel?
Weird and uncomfortable.
George, let go of Ruth.
No.
George!
Look, I was just trying to make a little extra money, but I'm sure the generic heart medicine will work just as well as what I'm using.
Where you going, new mother?
I am so sorry about this. We'll see you at church, huh?
Well, actually, I think I'll be transferring to a new church. One that you don't know about and can't find.
The Powers Brothers Weight Room. In Season 2, Episode 2, the one where George considers taking that job at AeroCorp, we get to see a part of the Powers Brothers factory that we never see again. A private gym. As a kid, this fact just stood out to me, and it's just more Powers Brothers lore. Behind the scenes with Larry Pickett. Don't know how I missed this while I was researching, but on an episode of LP17, a music show that aired on TV in the southeastern United States, Larry Pickett went behind the scenes of the George Lopez show. And aside from this, the only behind the scenes footage I found in my research was on the special features for the seasons 1 and 2 DVD set. As someone who has been coming back to the show for years, it's kind of surreal to just see a different angle of the set. There are also some cool interviews with the cast, where they share some interesting information about the set.
So what's some of the George Lopez show secrets on the set?
Some of the secrets are that our refrigerator is so cheap, it makes noises like in the middle of a scene, okay?
Really?
Right? You think it's all high-end here, really glam, right?
Uh-huh.
Let's see what else.
What else?
We got no food in there. Lights.
Oh, there's food in there. There's tons of food.
Oh, they took that note. I told them there was nothing in there. It looked like we were starving to death, but some of it's a little moldy, so let's close that.
Okay.
What else? Do we have any? Oh, our grass is not real.
Right.
Our grass used to be real, and then it started smelling. It's not real anymore. It's plastic, but it looks so nice, doesn't
Really?
it?
So it used to be real?
It used to be real, and then it was moldy and smelly and wet. Not good for TV, and we changed it. We swapped it out.
So what's it like?
The finale / Powers Brothers move to Mexico. So I really didn't talk about the series finale in the original Iceberg, but I feel it would be a fitting note to end this one on. The final plotline of the series kicks off when Mel informs George that the Powers Brothers just sold the factory to a company in Mexico, and they're going to lay off all the workers and hire Mexican citizens. However, the man who owns the company that's buying the Powers Brothers, played by Edward James Olmos, offers George a high-paying job in Phoenix, Arizona, because of his history of managing the factory.
If that's the way it's gonna be, let me tell you, Vato, I pull hair, I bite, and I ain't afraid to yell rape. Vato, go for it.
Relax. I want you to work for me in my U.S. office in Phoenix. That's a contract.
You're offering me a job?
You're one hell of a manager, and I need someone to coordinate my sales in the U.S. You interested?
I'm gonna say yes. But those people out there think that I'm giving you hell, and I don't want them to think that I sold out. I assume there'll be benefits and a health care plan.
There will be. In a corner office with a view. Company car. 6-figure salary.
Angie and Max both tell George they don't want to move. Vic encourages George to take the job, and Benny admits to George that she's gonna miss him. Next, Ernie tells George that all the employees are going to occupy the factory as an act of protest and defiance of the buyout. George decides to join them. In the middle of the night, Edward James Olmos' character approaches George to negotiate. In his office, George is told the company is going to stay in California, and that everyone gets to keep their jobs, and he gets to run the factory by himself with no one above him. And that is the end of the series. And just one final note. Lopez versus Lopez. Just want to make a quick sort of announcement here. I don't see myself getting around to this for quite some time, but I am planning on eventually making a video on Lopez versus Lopez. It will almost definitely not be an iceberg, but rather a critique of the series and how it contrasts with the original George Lopez sitcom. I'm sure many of you saw, but the show was just canceled after 3 seasons, which is actually the longest a George Lopez fronted sitcom has lasted since this original George Lopez show from the 2000s. Even though I haven't watched all of it yet, this series is objectively notable because of how long it was on the air, and of course a crossover with the old cast. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching this video series, and I hope you stick around for future videos. Next up is a retrospective on Billy Mays. This will be a good one. See you then.